Joining us right now, the Trump campaign senior economic advisor and Douglas Elliman chairman and Vector Group CEO Howard Lorber. Howard, good to see you.
Good morning.
Thank you so
Nice
much for joining us. So do you think the issue is resonating with voters? I mean, this Hillary Clinton asking Donald Trump about his taxes on the debate, he did leave himself open for criticism when he said, I'm smart for not paying taxes. We don't know that he didn't pay any taxes, but this has become an issue.
Yeah, no, he surely has paid taxes. You know, you have more taxes than income taxes. Being a businessman and employing lots of people, he's probably paid hundreds of millions of dollars in payroll taxes and Social Security taxes and unemployment benefits. And he's a businessman. He's paid a ton of taxes. His personal return is his personal return. Lots of times in a corporation, a closely held corporation, money's there, and you pay corporate taxes, and you don't take it out and pay personal taxes.
You know, he needed to go directly to his tax plan. I mean, that's what he needed to do, because the fact is his tax plan makes a lot of sense. Lowering corporate taxes to 15%, rolling back regulations, that seems to be positive in terms of potentially moving the needle on economic growth.
Yeah. My guess also is with the alternative minimum tax, the way it works, it would be almost impossible to pay no taxes.
Right.
Personally. So
was that a joke? I mean, of all the things he could have said, why that?
Why?
Well, it was a joke. It was a comment.
I know, but he's trying to be too clever. Do you agree with that? That when he basically gets off track because he's fixated on certain parts of his life and business, his net worth, and seeming really smarter than everybody else in the room, and it gets him into trouble.
Yeah, well, I think it was J. Pierpont Morgan who said the duty of people is to evade paying taxes or to pay as little as possible. Right. So I don't think it's a crime to pay as little as tax.
Well, here's the quote. Here's the quote that you're referring to. It's in the paper today. Anybody has a right to evade taxes if he can get away with it. No citizen has a moral obligation to assist in maintaining the government. Having said that, if it becomes felt by the broad public that he hasn't paid taxes, obviously that's going to be a massive negative for him.
Yeah, I agree, but I guarantee you he's paid lots of taxes, okay? You know, you can pick out years maybe that he paid less than others, but he's paid taxes just by nature of him being a businessman.
Just the fact that we're talking about this way, we're falling for the strategy.
I mean, exactly.
We are.
It's really much ado about nothing.
Well, could he reveal, potentially, and I don't know if this is up for discussion, could he reveal how much he's paid in taxes without actually releasing the returns? Like,
well, the problem there is what the Democrats would then say is, well, how do we know if we don't see the tax returns? And he's basically said, look at my financial disclosures, right?
Right.
Why are you a Trump supporter? Tell us.
I'm a Trump supporter. Well, I've known Donald for 30 years plus. He's a great businessman. He's a great negotiator. He has a lot of the qualities and that are needed to be. He's presidential, in my opinion. I think we've gone through too many years of basically slow or no growth. And by the way, this is all through a time where they've kept interest rates unbelievably low, and they still can't stimulate growth. So what's going to stimulate growth other than tax cuts? It's just impossible. There's nothing left. If interest rates were high, you'd say, okay, lower interest rates and see if you could stimulate growth. We can't lower them anymore. There are no interest rates.
But the problem is exactly this. You know, what you just articulated makes sense, but talking about his tax returns and not paying taxes doesn't make any sense to the average voter. He's got to turn that corner and redefine. I'm a businessman. I create jobs. I understand how that works, and I can do that in the broader economy. How does he shift the tone on that issue in the next debate?
Well, I think he just will. I think that you'll see a different approach in the next debate. I'm very positive about that.
Well, she came out guns blazing.
Yeah.
She immediately put him on defense, and he took it.
Yeah.
But his rivals on the Democratic side are criticizing his tax plan. While campaigning with Hillary Clinton yesterday, Senator Bernie Sanders was especially critical on Trump's proposal to repeal the estate tax. This from Mr. 80% tax. Listen to this.
At a time when we have massive levels of income and wealth inequality, it is absurd, it is disgraceful for Donald Trump and his friends to be talking about hundreds of billions of dollars in tax breaks for the top 1%.
So what is your take, Howard? I mean, look.
My take is when it comes to tax policy and economics, I wouldn't listen to Bernie Sanders too much. You know,
They're not focused on economic growth.
Exactly. He doesn't care about economic growth. He's, you know, very simple what his plan is. His plan is to tax and give away money. So that doesn't work. Look how many years we've been doing that. And where are we today? We're probably one of the worst growth economies in the world, where we shouldn't be. It just makes no sense.
Younger people love him. They love the message, and that's why Hillary Clinton has him on the campaign trail, because she needs those votes. And Donald Trump certainly isn't. I mean, he's not promising them the world for sure.
Well, the only thing that would happen if you promise them the world is that it wouldn't happen.
They'll be disappointed.
They'll be disappointed. Look, again, how many people, the famous words, right? Are you better off today than you were 4 years ago or 8 years ago? Who could say that, realistically? Surely the people that Bernie Sanders believes support him can't say that. They're in worse shape than they were 4 years and 8 years ago. It hasn't worked. The only way to stimulate the economy, create jobs, is having more spendable income for everyone. And the only way to have more spendable income is to lower taxes, period. There's no other way.
And roll back regulations.
Yeah.
I mean, the rollback of regulations
yes.
is important, too, because that's been holding back business.
Yeah. And Hillary, you know, has really not accomplished anything. I heard some sound bites of things Donald said, which was so true. What has she really accomplished? You know, it's funny, when you talk about what ended up being Obamacare, that was Hillary's when her husband was president, and she couldn't have it passed. So she's not very good at accomplishing anything. She's good at speaking. She's a very good speaker. You know, very smart.
I don't love it.
Well, I don't like it at all either, but I would say the majority of the people think, you know, if they listen to her, if you want to just believe what she says, maybe it's more how she says it. You know, there's the two things, what you say and how you say it.
I'm not a big fan of either.
Okay.
And how about what you do?
Yeah, well, but there's nothing she could say about that. She hasn't done anything.
This is where I don't imitate her.
Okay. Are you sure? Because I was going to ask you.
Yes, I'm not going to do it.
Howard, is that his winning nugget, the economic plan? How is he going to get that huge swath of people who are still wondering?
I think it's pretty simple. The two things that we care about, one and two, maybe not necessarily changes amongst people, is the economy and our future for our families and our children, and security and safety of living in the United States, okay? And those are the two things. He is strong on both of those issues, okay? You saw yesterday he had these 50 military people that came out and supported him. He's had police unions support him. Everyone that we care about to protect us has supported him. I didn't see any of them support Hillary.
Yeah.
No one.
Howard, before you go, we got the GDP coming out in 20 minutes on the economy. You're the chairman of Douglas Elliman. How's real estate? What are you seeing in terms of the broad economy based on your seat? You know, real estate's pretty good. I mean, there was a little bit of a slowdown, you know, maybe the last 5 to 6 months, and I quoted as saying, yes, the market for overpriced condominiums has slowed down. If you price things right, they sell. So it's, you know, people got aspirational about
people
what things
have no
were.
idea how insane the prices are here in New York City.
Exactly.
They have no idea.
You know,
how
it's funny. They go up 200%, and you know they double in 4 or 5 years, and then they go down 20%, and everyone says, "Oh my God, it's a bad market." Not true.
So prices have come down.
They came down a little bit, not a lot, a little bit.
Okay, Howard, good to see you.
Nice seeing you.
Thank you so much, Howard Lorber, joining us there.